Hi everyone, it's Dot, and tonight in my low carb kitchen, I'm going to show you how to make the original buffalo wing recipe. It's awesome and it is very low carb. All right, so clearly the star ingredient, or so you think, are the chicken wings. And I've got about 3 pounds of chicken wings here. And yes, they are quite lovely and they are quite delicious. To make this the original recipe, I'm actually using Frank's hot sauce. This is my favorite hot sauce. And Frank's actually created the original recipe for the sauce that went onto the original buffalo wing that was created out of Buffalo, New York back in the 60s. So we're going to use the recipe. And the recipe is so simple. It is hot sauce and butter. If you're low carb or ketogenic, there's nothing more perfect than hot sauce and butter. It is an awesome recipe to use. Now, if you want to, you can certainly use additional seasonings. A lot of people use paprika. They'll throw in garlic or garlic powder, onion powder. You can do whatever you want, but I like just sticking to the original recipe, period. So there's no need for that. Now, I am gonna season the wings and we're gonna get started. My oven is preheating at the moment, and I'm gonna go ahead and put on some gloves because I'm gonna get a little gooey here with the oil I'm putting on. I'm gonna use a light olive oil, and there are a lot of people who like to use extra virgin olive oil on when you're cooking, when you're baking, especially something that's in the oven. And extra virgin is really meant for eating raw, cold, I should say. I like to use a light olive oil because that's actually used. It can get up to a good temperature before it starts smoking, and that's what's really important. So I'm just using some light olive oil here. I'm gonna put in some fresh ground pepper. And equally noisy is my salt grinder. I'm using some Himalayan salt tonight. Now, I'm not using that much salt specifically because there is already some salt in the hot sauce. So with that, I'm just gonna go ahead and toss the chicken. You just wanna coat all of the wings in the salt, the pepper, and especially the oil. Now, it's really important before you oil your wings, I should have mentioned this a little bit earlier, but you want the wings dry. So I always wash my wings and then I'll lay them out on paper towels and dry them. And then just put them in a bowl and I let them come to close to room temperature. I let them sit out for about 30 minutes or so after they're washed. And that's actually perfect time because you can disinfect your sink after you wash your chicken. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and get these ready for baking. All right, all I'm doing is I'm going to put these on trays. You can certainly use tinfoil for easier cleanup if you'd like, but make sure it's really, really oiled. You don't want to spare on the oil because these suckers do stick. So I've already greased my pan and I've pretty much just used the same olive oil that is on the chicken. And I give them some space. I don't like to overcrowd them. I'm going to put them on 2 trays. They're going to go in for 20 minutes, and then what I'm going to do is after the first 20 minutes, I'll hit the broiler, and we're going to go for about 7 minutes after that, and then we should have some tasty wings. All right, I'm just adding a little more pepper on top of the chicken, and I just wanted to let you see how close I have everything stacked together. Some of them, I want to, again, try to keep them not on top of each other. Also, I like to put them in the oven skin side up because I want the skin as crispy as possible. A little bit difficult when you got 2 trays going in the oven at the same time, but I still like them crispy. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get these guys in the oven, and then I can start on my wonderful sauce. All right, I put about 1/3 of a cup of butter in a saucepan over medium heat. It's starting to crackle, so I'm going to turn it down just ever so slightly. I'm going to add about 1/2 cup of the hot sauce in here. Stir it up. And you don't want it to boil. That's really important. And what you're doing initially is stirring everything together because you want the fat to actually blend with the sauce. All right, I got everything blended. You can see it's starting to bubble a little bit. Again, you don't want it to boil. A simmer is just fine. I'm going to turn the heat down even more, just a tad. Now, on occasion, your butter is going to come separated out from the sauce. It just will because fats like to do that. All you have to do is give it a quick swirl. All right, chicken is out. I decided to, because I had 2 trays in there, I decided to rotate the trays once I turned on the broiler. So this one went in there and then I let it go for a few minutes and then I put the second tray in so they're nice and brown, which I want. And I'm just going to go ahead and put them in this container. I'm going to get all the chicken in here and then it'll be sauce time. Okay, so I have my chicken in here. I'm going to go ahead and pour the hot sauce or the buffalo sauce, I should say, all over the chicken. Whoa, you can really smell the cayenne pepper. Oh, it is strong with this. Hopefully everything's at a good temperature where I can just start tossing. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and try. I have a little wing here. I'm gonna go ahead and try this guy and see how it tastes. It's really good. The sauce tastes great. Has enough spice to it, which I like. I have a little cut on my finger, so it's burning it a little bit. I hope you give wings a try. They're really easy to make. And the nice thing about it, there's absolutely no sugar in these. And that's so important when you're trying to eat low carb. And they're pretty even between fat and protein. However, I'm adding a ketogenic ranch dressing to the side with this, so that'll up my fat content quite a bit. So it's a perfect ketogenic meal. If you enjoy the video, hit like, subscribe. And with that, I'll see you next time.